I cannot wait to show you inside this beautiful model home in just one moment. You're not gonna believe some of the features that the builder put in this home behind us. I'm also gonna discuss with you just where we're at today, as we are in one of Jacksonville and Northeast Florida's newest and hottest communities. So without wasting any more time, let's check out this home right now. All right, let's not waste any more time and go ahead and check out this amazing floor plan right behind me. And as mentioned, we are in one of the most desirable communities located here in Northeast Florida that we are seeing plenty of people choosing to move to right this second. As you can see though, as we come up, we have a really beautiful paver front entryway. Now the pavers up to this point is simply here for the model, but as far as pavers up here, what's really cool is this builder is currently doing pavers for the front porch, pavers for the driveway as a standard for pretty much all their homes in this neighborhood. Also, you'll see here as we come in is, we do have the hardy board siding, which is very typical of Northeast Florida for new construction homes. It's a cemented siding that is very durable, which is why most of the builders are using it. Coming on in, you'll notice here we do have a really nice glass front door. And right away when we come into this home, you're gonna notice we are greeted with a beautiful entryway to our living, our kitchen, as well as the garage on our left-hand side that is currently being used as the sales office for the site agents. In addition, when you first come in for this floor plan, we do get a half bath. Let's see. So with the half bath, really great for guests. It really kind of gives them their own place for when they are visiting. Keeps people obviously out of having to go upstairs, which is a big bonus as well. So moving right along, obviously you see here we have our living room, our kitchen. We'll talk more about that in just one moment. We also have the stairwell here, which is gonna take us to our second story, where we're gonna see 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, as well as a loft as well. So let's check that out now. All right, so upstairs right away, we do have that stairwell coming up. I will say I love the fact that they did the wood treads for the stairwell. It might be vinyl, have to double check on that. But it's a really nice look having that. Upstairs, you're gonna see here, we do have carpet for the whole second story, other than the bathroom. And it opens up to our loft as well, which if you have kids, what's really cool about this floor plan is this is really a place for them to be able to have their own space, next to their bedrooms. And really just kind of allows you to have the living room downstairs more geared towards maybe your lifestyle as well. So it gives you your own space downstairs and gives your kids their own space upstairs as well. Moving right along, we do have our first bathroom, full bathroom. This is the 1 bathroom upstairs. So what I love is that the builder on this one did the double vanity. So we do have those quartz countertops with the white cabinets. Now, some of these cabinets may not be soft close, but it's something that you can do with the builder is you can do soft close cabinetry with the builder when you build with them. In addition, we do have our shower tub combo. I always say you want to have at least 1 tub in a house. In this case, the 1 tub is going to be upstairs. And I do love too that the builder did the tile up to the ceiling, which is not always a standard. Sometimes it is an upgrade, but the thing about that is it gives it a very finished look, very complete look. And so I always suggest to people that if you build with a builder, to always pay a little extra for that, because it does go a long way, not just for while you're living in the home, but also for resale. Then we have the first of our 2 bedrooms up here. And this bedroom is a very well-sized bedroom. We do have really great natural light coming in. We have a full-size bed here to kind of give you an idea of how the space is being utilized. We also have our dresser as well. And this bedroom is great for having a young child or a nursery, or again, if you did have multiple kids, you could do bunk beds in here as well. And in addition, we do also have our closet here, which is a standard size closet. But what I love that the builder did with this closet is they actually did the French doors with it. So you don't get those pesky bifolds that constantly break. So this just gives it a nicer, cleaner, more upgraded look versus those bifolds or even the rolling doors, because the rolling doors or sliders will also sometimes break as well. So I do like when the builder does that, and it really just gives it more of a complete look across the board. Then we come to our second bedroom upstairs, and this bedroom is not staged. Now, normally you would expect it to be staged, but the reason this was not staged is because this is the model for the builder. And again, if you want to know where we're at today or who this builder is, you may even see it on this video as well. But if you want to know more details about that, just reach out to me with a call, a text, an email. It's going to be on the screen. I'm always happy to help answer any questions you have. But with this room, they actually stage it more to kind of show you what they do with their process with their home versus most other new construction homes. So this builder actually uses 2x6 construction for their framing, whereas other builders use 2x4s. Also, another really cool energy aspect with this house is they are actually in this neighborhood, and only this neighborhood with this builder, are doing spray foam insulation for their attic space. So that's gonna help reduce your energy bill tremendously across the board when living in a community just like this one. That's enough for the upstairs. Let's now go back downstairs and check out that amazing kitchen, which I'm sure you wish I would have already shown you. So let's get to that right now. And now we are back downstairs. So right away, as you see, what I love about this floor plan the builder did is they actually gave you quite a bit of space here to be able to do a true dining room table. You know, sometimes they've had certain plans where they actually had some of the space as exterior space, but they changed their floor plan a little bit for this to give you that space to have that dining room table. And this is a six-seater table, but you could easily make this an 8-seater table due to the amount of space that's there. So again, if you have a large family, for holidays or whatnot for visiting, you have plenty of options to be able to entertain them when they come and visit your home. Then as we come to the kitchen, you're gonna notice right away we have this massive kitchen island. This kitchen island it's a 3-seater as it shows here, but you could definitely put 4, maybe even 5 seats there. And what I love too, and this is partially because it's on the first floor, is it is all one continuous piece of quartz. So it definitely gives it a very nice, clean look across the board. We also get our nice single deep sink here, plenty of cabinetry as well, including the trash pullouts. And on the other side, we have our gas stovetop. So we are actually in the community we're in today. This community is a gas community, so you will typically see gas as kind of that standard for the stovetop. You do have the option a lot of times to potentially do an electric as well, depending on where the builder's at in the process. But gas has really become the choice for most newer neighborhoods here in Northeast Florida. A couple of things I like about this, they actually did a really cool blue backsplash here with the little square tile. The reason I like that is because it gives you that pop of color that really just helps kind of set it apart and makes it a very distinct feature of this kitchen. Because again, when you have the white countertops, the white cabinets, again, I love the fact with this that you do get the pull-out ability for your big pots and pans, but having that really just gives it a nice distinct look and really shows very well for when people are visiting. We also have our microwave oven combo here. And then they still do give us a nice little walk-in pantry. And I do like that they did some custom cabinets in there. That's one of those things that may not be a standard. But again, if you have that option to do with the builder after the fact, I always suggest. Because again, it gives it a more finished look and allows you to put more stuff in your pantry, so to speak. In addition, we have a fridge here, and these are all GE appliances. And with this kitchen, what's actually interesting is they were able to even fit in a small little office area, a little built-in office area off of the kitchen. So if you do work from home, but you don't necessarily need a true office, having a little place like this that's tucked away is kind of a nice feel to be able to still have your computer, your laptop, to be able to get some work done on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't need that, you can always make that additional cabinetry space, maybe like a little coffee station as well. And then brings us to our laundry room. This laundry room is right off the kitchen, which I think makes a lot of sense. And you have your washer dryer combo here. And overall, you'll notice too that we have these smooth walls throughout this home. Smooth walls, you may think watching this that, well, Justin, isn't that a given to have smooth walls? It's not always. Some builders, they charge extra for it. In this case, this neighborhood is a standard. But also with smooth walls, if you don't have that, you're normally gonna see those textured walls. And so I always suggest, if you can get smooth walls, whether if it's a standard or an upgrade, to do that, because it definitely does make a huge difference. And it's one of those things that if you're gonna do it during the build, not after the fact, because it'll be way more expensive after the fact. Then brings us to our living room. Now this living room, there's a couple things I absolutely love here. One of which is the tray ceiling. I personally love tray ceilings because it makes the space feel bigger, makes it feel more open. So when you have that mixed with all this natural light here with all these windows, or more so almost wall of windows, it really does give it that light and bright feel that you would come to expect of a home here in Jacksonville, Florida, or Northeast Florida. In addition, we do have surround sound speakers throughout, and we also have our shiplap wall, which has a different blue compared to the blue tile backsplash. But again, the blue just kind of ties into just why people love this area, which is the fact that we have so much water here, and many different waterways or the ocean included. And so those blues get incorporated into a lot of homes throughout the area. So I love that blue shiplap. It just gives it a little more of an accent wall feel versus just having all the white walls around it. And then from there, we come into a little bit of an extension of the living room. Now this could be almost like a book nook area. This is again, additional living space. And what I like about this space is it doesn't have that tray ceiling like we see in the main living room. It actually has more of a cathedral ceiling with how they push that ceiling height up and even include that wood beam across. So it really gives you a very wide open feel despite being a little bit of a smaller space versus the other living room. Now, before we go outside, let's now check out the other aspect of the house that you may be very curious on, which is that primary bedroom. All right, let's go ahead and now check out this primary bedroom. And again, things that I love about it is the fact that it is tucked away off the back of the house. So for a home like this, and then again, this is a model home, so that's why it's staged as nice as it is. But for a home like this, to be able to have the primary bedroom in the back of the house, backing up to the preserve, which again, being the model, that's partially why they probably put on the preserve, but they do have other preserve lots. So if you want to know which lots and which floor plans are going on those lots that have the preserve, just gotta call me, text me, email me. It will be on the screen. Feel free to reach out. But in addition to with this primary bedroom that I love is again, that tray ceiling. Again, when you come to your primary, you want it to feel grand. You want it to feel like a retreat. And having it back up to the preserve with the tray ceiling gives you all of that. In addition, this is a king size bed with some really nice nightstands size-wise. They did a nice little accent wall with some of the wood elements. And you even have a little bench here to be able to sit down, take your shoes off, put your shoes on, and a dresser as well. So the reason I bring all that up is because anytime you can have, in this case, 5 pieces of furniture, and you could still probably fit some more in here, that just goes to show, it really gives you an idea of the fact that you can really have a nice large bedroom with a floor plan like this. In addition, you do have some really great natural light as we then come into our primary bathroom. So primary bathroom, right away, you'll see they continue the same quartz countertops, but they actually changed the cabinetry. So they did do more of that wood look with the cabinets. I personally love that. It really makes it more distinct and really sets itself apart. So it really does give a great feel and a big difference compared to what we've seen in the other bathroom and the kitchen. We're gonna have our powder room off to the side over there. We're gonna have a little linen closet as well here. And then on the other side here, we have our walk-in shower. So if you've seen some of my past videos, you may have already been able to tell, even if you didn't see some of their logos throughout this video, just which builder we're with today. And the reason I say that is this builder is very distinct in how they do their primary bathrooms, with how they do their shower on one side, vanity on the other side. Again, if you've seen others, you know what I'm talking about. But ultimately, I do love this primary shower because of the fact that the tile does go up to the ceiling. They did a nice little accent here to kind of break up that tile as well. You have a step down here so that way you don't have to worry about water coming out into your more walk area of the bathroom. And you don't need a door here because of the step down as well. In addition, we do have a little toiletry niche here as well. So again, you put your toiletries in, it's a nice touch. You have the ability to turn the water on without getting wet with where they located the handles. And to end it all, they don't give you just one shower head, they give you 2, with one of them being a rain head. Now I love rain heads. It just gives you a different feel when you're taking a shower. And that rain head there is one of those things that if you're going to build, I would highly suggest to think about putting a rain head in if it's something that you may ever want, because to do a rain head after the fact is going to cost you a lot more than to do it with the builder. Finally, we have our primary closet. This primary closet is a very good size, I'd say. It's a little bit more of an L-shaped closet, and they didn't do anything with any sort of custom cabinets or cabinetry in here, or closets, but you definitely could, and you have plenty of space here to be able to do that. So again, to have a home of this size, to give you this size of a primary closet, in my opinion, is a great touch, and really should give you, everything you need for a home of this size and price point. Now, the last thing we're going to focus on is the backyard, but make sure to stay till the end, because we are going to discuss where we're at today, who the builder is, and honestly, what floor plan and price point this home is at. So let's get to the backyard now. All right, so going outside, we do have these nice sliding glass doors that allow you to kind of open the outside to the inside. And right away when we come out here, again, you see the pavers, that is a standard. But what you saw on the inside with having that cathedral ceiling, they give you out here as well. So they continue that cathedral ceiling with the wood beam out here for your back porch, which really definitely does give it a bigger feel, and more open feel as well. Now, they don't have this screened in, but you definitely could screen in if you wanted to. And what they did here too is by not having it screened in, they gave you more of a continuation with it out to your pergola over here, which the pergola is a nice touch. It's one of those things, some people love them, some people hate them. I tend to see people very, one or the other with it. But what I love about it is it does give you more of a entertaining space out here. You do get the ability to put a table, a dining room table out here. In this case, again, we have a 6-seater. You could easily do an 8-seater or a 10-seater. So again, just gives you that ability to entertain outside as well on days like today where it's just so beautiful out here in Jacksonville, Florida. And then finally, as you see this preserve out here, just imagine, it's, the winter time, it's January, February, it's nice and, in the 30s or 40s at night, and you want to get a fire going, you want to invite friends over, maybe the kids want to have some s'mores. Well, you have the ability to do that with a home like this. And they show it here with having your fire pit out here, kind of tucked away up against the preserve. And it just kind of gives you that reason why people move to Jacksonville, because of the fact that it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, you can get a fire going. Now, granted, during the summer, maybe you wouldn't do that as much, but you have that ability to entertain people year round with a home like this in a community like this. So again, let's go and talk now about where we're at today and just why this is one of the most up and coming areas here in Jacksonville and Northeast Florida. All right, so what did you think about this model home tour? It's a pretty stunning house, right? Well, what I love about this home specifically, again, is you get a great floor plan. It's a great layout with how everything incorporates with each other, with the kitchen opening up to the living, and then having that primary bedroom on the back opening up to the preserve. And it brings up a good point that when it comes to working with this builder, and the builder on this one is David Weekley Homes, national builder, super reputable, and I've been very fortunate to work with them on other homes in the past. But David Weekley, they do a great job with their build quality, as you probably saw in this video. But also, they do things differently with each of their neighborhoods. Now, the neighborhood today is the Evergreen Island neighborhood located within the SilverLeaf community. This is a gated neighborhood of roughly around 150, 160 homes once it's all said and done. And what's so great about it is, you have that gated element, but the fees are only about $160, $170 a year to get that and to get all the SilverLeaf amenities. Now, if you want to know more about the SilverLeaf amenities or about SilverLeaf as a whole, we do have a video on that, a neighborhood tour of SilverLeaf, where you can see all that. But SilverLeaf is one of the biggest up and coming communities here in Northeast Florida. And a lot of the reason for that is due to its location, being the fact that you are very close to the highway, but not super close to where you hear any of that noise. But also, you're not too far from St. Augustine, you're not too far from Savannah, not too far from Orlando. So again, to get to some of these other major cities, you're not that far away, but you still get some amazing pricing here as well. Now, for the floor plan we're in today, this is the Hollinger floor plan. This is one of their most popular floor plans here in Evergreen Island. And the Hollinger floor plan is around 2,450 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, and you saw it today, but they do have the option where you could do a 4-bedroom if you so chose. Instead of that loft upstairs, that would be a space for a 4th bedroom. And then you have a 2.5 bath. So you have the primary bath, the upstairs bath, and the half bath when you first come in. In addition, we have a 2-car garage. And again, what I love about this neighborhood is David Weekley is doing some very specific things in this neighborhood that they're not necessarily doing in all of their neighborhoods. So if you want to know, again, I've referenced them in this video, but if you want to know all of those things, you have to just reach out to me to get more information. And then as far as pricing, I'm sure you want to know where pricing is on a home like this. This specific floor plan starts in the low 500s, and it does go up from there depending on what kind of upgrades you choose with them. But what's really cool too is they do have quite a few quick move-in homes available as well if you don't want to wait to build, or you don't want to go to the design center, which can be sometimes a little bit of a experience, so to speak. But ultimately, what I also love about this is they are offering some amazing incentives right now. So whether if it's towards paying for closing costs, paying towards something at the design center, or even paying for some amazing rate buy downs, they're offering some pretty good deals right now. So if you want to know exactly what those deals or what those incentives are, because again, the price and incentives, they're always subject to change. So what they are right now may be different than they are a month from now, 6 months from now, even maybe a week from now. So if you want to know all of that and you want to get the most up-to-date information, you have to just call me, text me, email me. I'm always happy to help answer any and all questions. There will be a link in the description of this video as well to my calendar. So if you want to just set up a time for us to meet face-to-face or through Zoom, we can definitely do that as well. And again, if you stayed till the end, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys again on our next model home tour.